On this episode of Don't Blame Me, we have Melvin Gregg. We talked about a girl whose friends are judging her for her boyfriend's penis being uncut. A friend who's also judging her friend for sleeping with her boss. Oh my gosh. And a girl who's wondering if it's okay that her boyfriend is told her that it's okay that he asked for nudes from other girls.
Nudes.
I like that Foley sounds. Nudes, 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 nudes.
Mama.
Hi guys, welcome back to Don't Blame Me. Today's episode, we have Melvin Gregg. Say hi.
Hello.
Hello. You have a nice podcast voice, and you're going to start a podcast?
Yeah, that's my podcast voice.
Nice.
It's not like my regular voice.
It sounds exactly like your regular voice.
Oh, because I just got a podcast voice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So Melvin and I know each other because we played boyfriend and girlfriend on Freakish. If you guys watched it, Melvin loved it. He was so nervous to kiss me for the first time.
Yeah, but it wasn't personal.
What?
No offense.
I wasn't offended.
It was just
now I'm offended.
No, it's weird having an on-screen kiss because you don't really know what's like permitted because it's not a natural occurrence. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't want to do anything I'm not supposed to do and like get me too
in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, fun fact: I did make Melvin kiss me when we weren't on camera for the first time, so he'd be less nervous. Do you not remember this?
Yeah, I do. It was walking towards like
and you were like, "What are we gonna do?"
Right? Because it's like I think what killed me when I was younger is a show called Martin. People might know what Martin is, but Martin, his co-star, Tisha Campbell, she like sued him because they were kissing, and like he kept putting his tongue in her mouth or something that was inappropriate. And towards the end of the show, like they were never in the same scenes because it was a situation.
They
so
both
that always
had restraining orders against each other.
So that's in my head when I'm doing like these on-screen kisses. Like, do I gotta like swallow my tongue so it's not included in the kiss? Do I like what do I do with my hands? Like, it's just you know what I mean. It's not comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So. I made him kiss me under the bleachers, and I was like, "Are you less nervous?" And you're like, "Not really."
How high school?
I know, right?
Super high school.
I was like, "Just kiss me now." Well, you guys are listening and or watching to Don't Blame Me, which is my podcast. It's an advice podcast. We're filming this for YouTube, but you also might be listening to this on the podcast app or anywhere like that. So if you want to see the video and see Melvin and his earrings, which I didn't know, we almost have matching earrings. Do you not like that? You don't want to match?
I don't like the way you worded it.
What? That we have matching earrings?
They don't match.
What do you mean?
I mean
I'd wear yours. Would you wear mine?
They're similar in shape.
Oops.
Yeah, maybe.
The bigger the O, the bigger the hoe. I guess neither of us are hoes.
My earrings match Michael Jordan's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I get it. So this is an advice podcast. So I can explain it to you because Melvin definitely doesn't know it. And people call in and leave us voicemails and we give them advice on the things that they tell us about that are happening in their lives. So
I'm good at that.
You are?
Yeah.
So if you guys want to call in, the phone number is 310-694-0976. And international callers can email a audio file to meghanpodcast@gmail.com.
It's a lot of work. You got to really appreciate them if they do that. All of that.
I do appreciate them. I appreciate them a lot. I'm curious what you're going to say because one time, though, I think it was, we've only gotten in one fight before when Melvin told me that he said a girl can only be pretty or cute. No, cute and funny.
No, you're phrasing it wrong.
Okay, then do it come on, go ahead.
No, you're not about to blast me online.
I am about to blast you. Either I'm going to say it or you're going to say it.
Nah, you're going to say it wrong. Okay, so basically, that's not what I said. Okay. First off, I'm a quote unquote comedian. So a lot of things I say in context of making a joke. Yeah. And I was picking with Meghan and I was saying, dang, it's crazy because most girls, not all girls, most girls are either funny or pretty. And the reason I said that because a lot of girls who are pretty are conscious of how they look when they really do comedy. And a lot of the times when you're concentrating on looking pretty, it's hard to be funny. You know what I mean? And the girls who are like, you know, doing comedy, they don't care about none of that. They're still pretty too. Anyway, I was just trying to set up a joke for Meghan to say she wasn't funny. And then at the other end, I was complimenting Liza and saying Liza was pretty and funny. But that was all that like me. You know,
that's not what happened.
You know, as an actor, I'm like a method actor sometimes, and that day there was a lot of frustration between me and Meghan's character. So I just wanted to plant that seed. Bullshit. So when they said action, it'd be organic and authentic.
Is that the same?
I'm all about the
No,
craft.
I won't put you on blast for the other thing I was going to say. I won't do that though.
You've told that story on the
yes.
on the podcast.
I was going to say
you
it's pretty or it's cute or funny.
Yeah, but you didn't say
Cute
who it was.
funny.
Now we have a
now we know who it is.
name to the story.
Nah,
you said girls can only
definitely
be
not
cute or
always the
funny.
case.
You said Liza was funny, and Liza was like not offended that she wasn't cute, and you told me that I was cute,
No.
and I was so mad that I wasn't funny
said-
that I
I
didn't
said
talk to you for
Liza-
a week.
I said Liza was both.
That's even more fucked up.
But you're not really funny, Meghan.
I'm so funny. Do you want to fight again? I didn't talk to you for a week, and you like apologize.
You were smart, because I had to, because I realized as an on-screen boyfriend, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and just
fucking hate you.
apologize.
I don't know why I brought you on the podcast.
Men, sometimes you got to figure out the fights that you know.
Pick your battles.
Yeah, you got to pick your battles
Ugh.
with women.
I'm regretting this immediately. Mel is here too, guys.
What's up?
Woo woo.
I just realized she was actually doing it too and not just talking. You're like Robin from the Sway Show.
Yeah.
We want to get a Mel cam though.
I need one
so
of those.
she can have a little camera.
right. You never see Robin either.
Are you ready to give advice?
Yeah, always.
Are you going to be in character or are you going to be nice?
I'm mean in real life. No, I'm playing. I'm gonna give good advice.
Okay.
I'm not in character anymore. Freakish is over.
It is
Finito.
over. Finito.
Over.
Okay, on to the first call.
Hi, Meghan. This is a 21-year-old in a struggling relationship with a guy. And I'm bisexual. I am currently in college. And I'm just dealing with this relationship that's been bugging me for so long. And every time I tell somebody about it, they just keep telling me that the guy's an asshole and that I should just let it go. But that's the exact problem. I can't let it go. So basically, what's been going on, I met this guy my freshman year of college. I'm a junior right now. And we've been doing this whole friends with benefits thing. And I know everybody says that never works and that's always going to turn into a relationship or you guys are going to end up wanting to be with each other. Well, that did happen, except that I was the only one who wanted to be with him. And once I expressed my feelings about this, 3 years into this, he rejected me. So that obviously hurt, and I wanted to obviously take everything back and just like act like I never had feelings for him ever. But the thing is that now we're still friends with benefits, and we're kind of just friends. And every time I tell this to somebody, everybody just assumes that we've been in a relationship, but we haven't. Obviously, because we've just been friends with benefits, and neither of us has ever said that, oh, we're each other's girlfriend or boyfriend. So the thing is that my feelings, I just don't know what to do with them. Because, like, I know that I should probably just, like, let him go and just, forget about him and move on, especially because now he's graduated and I can just start my college year fresh and keep on going with my studies and my life. But it's just so hard because, like, he's been my support system for so long. And, well, yeah, I don't know what to do. And we're still friends with benefits and we still see each other a lot. So we have the same friends. We hang out with the same people. So I don't know what to do.
You seem to have a lot of feelings on this already.
Nah, I'm a reactive person. Typically you can see what I'm thinking on my face. Yeah, so maybe. But the key word in there that wasn't addressed later on. See, you gotta find keywords and hints and things. You know what I mean? She mentioned she was bisexual, but that had nothing to do with anything else in the thing, right? But she felt she needed to put that out there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a pass at you or maybe, is an underlining thing that maybe she wanna, be with a girl.
Yeah.
But I mean, she mentioned it and it had no
I know.
context.
I was curious about that too.
She's curious too.
I think, I'm like, you had a lot of options.
Right.
Yeah.
No limitations. I don't know the format. You usually advise first.
I can advise first, and sure. I think what I would automatically say is, you've done friends with benefits, right?
Yeah.
You're allowed to say that.
Nah, the friend part is blurry.
Oh, good God.
He said benefits.
I've had benefits.
With benefits.
Good God. No, but I've definitely done that. And the first thing I would say is I think more often than not, it happens exactly like it's happening for her. I think that's kind of always how it ends. is one person developing feelings in the other. I think it rarely works out where both of you, I mean, I also feel like the asshole who was in the opposite situation where I was like friends with benefits with this guy and then we ended up dating, but like neither of us were really that into each other. We were just highly jealous people. And so we just didn't want each other to hook up with other people. I definitely didn't follow that. I'm sorry. But it wasn't like, if you're going to like, if you want to date somebody, you're going to know pretty early on, especially if you're sleeping with somebody. I always say that I wish, like, not that I will get to know if I will know if I like somebody quicker if I sleep with them than if I like date them for 6 months. Like, I think it's an automatic thing that you know. And the second that you start sleeping with somebody, you're either going to develop feelings or you're not. And if you can do that for like 3 years and he's been okay with like you being with other people or like anything like that, like you're just, yeah. I don't foresee that kind of developing at that slow of a pace because you're doing all of the things that people do in relationships without dating. And so if he doesn't have the desire to date from there, there's really nothing you can do. And also there's nothing, you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. Like there's no point in convincing somebody because then you're like, oh wow, I've like forced this person to feel the same things I do for them. But I mean, my ultimate advice is just, you can't do this anymore. Like you're still going to keep liking him. It's not going to change. And if he doesn't have those feelings for you after 3 years, I don't think he's going to. Sorry.
Ready for a guy's perspective?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I got a different perspective that's pretty honest. Where should I start?
Trying to come up with a different perspective.
Nah. I mean, what you said is true. I'm not like trying to go against what you said. I just feel like kind of you said you'll have sex with a guy first to see what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like that's true. Like the testament of how he feels about you is how he treats you after sex. Because before sex, you're going to get
the guy who's trying to have sex with you.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get, depending on the person. But most of the time, that's what it's going to be. And if 3 years, y'all not in a relationship, he don't want to be with you, even though like y'all relationship might be what a relationship is as far as the time you spend together. The only difference between that and an actual relationship, I guess, is the commitment and the monogamy. And he might want to be with her. She said he's her support system, so they probably talk and kick it all the time. But he still want to fuck other girl.
You can say fuck.
Oh,
yeah. You can say whatever you want. Fuck.
Fuck, shit. Dick.
Fart?
Right.
Did you say fart?
I just had to get it out. I didn't say fart. I wasn't confident with one of the fucks, and it sounded like fart. But yeah, he not ready to like just be with her. He still want his options out there. Like guys I could have this one girl who's like perfect. I would like my best friend. I want to kick it with her all the time. We have sex and everything, but I'm still not ready to only have sex with her because a lot of times sex isn't always emotionally like emotions aren't involved. It's like recreational with guys sometimes. So it's like I want her, but I still want to like go out and play ball every time, quote unquote, play ball.
Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. So
that's still playing
that might be, he might not be ready to really settle down. And I mean, you got to respect him. Ball, that's not even a good, like, that's.
No, don't worry. I'm just pretending you're fondling balls.
No, what?
Sorry, continue.
You said play
but
ball.
But it be my own. No, I was saying like, because it's recreational. It's like going to the court and playing basketball sometimes. Yeah. Anyway, he might really like her, but he's just not ready to commit. They're young. He was in college. In college, you go crazy. I went crazy in college. I wasn't about to commit. And you got to respect him for being honest because he could have easily committed to her and just cheated like you did.
Yeah. I didn't cheat. Okay, maybe. Sure. Yeah, actually.
Exactly. Hats off to that guy. He's a good guy.
I think also
the guy she was sleeping with.
He's not
I don't know who that is. I'm talking about the guy that she's talking about.
Well, I also think like exactly going off what you're saying. I think wanting to be in a relationship is so much more to do with a personal thing, less about the person. So like you could want to be in a
security.
Yeah, but I mean like there's like times where it's like if you don't want to be in a relationship, it's not because you don't want to be in a relationship with like this specific girl. It could be the greatest girl ever, but you're like, no, I don't want that for me.
I'm not ready.
Yeah. And so it's such a personal choice. So even though you guys do have that really great friendship and you have all the benefits of a relationship just without the commitment, that doesn't necessarily mean that obviously, exactly what you're saying, obviously he's still interested in you and like has like cares for you and it was not a hit it and quit it situation. But it's just like he doesn't want a relationship. And if he did want a relationship,
it would happen.
Yeah, you would know that. And you also don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want a relationship. So I wouldn't even say the ultimatum thing, because I think ultimately, you need to stop saying ultimately. You're going to get a guy, you're going to tell him that he's going to lose you unless he commits, but then you're going to get a guy who doesn't want to commit.
You ain't got to, you shouldn't even do all of that. Like,
no.
She 20, what she say? She 21?
She's 21.
She's bisexual. That means she out here just trying to live her life.
Yeah.
But she putting so much pressure. She putting so much pressure on this guy being in a relationship. She probably don't even really want to be in a relationship with him. It's just like, oh, I'm hanging with him. I feel like I'm supposed to be in a relationship. So I'm chasing this status
quo. And it's him not wanting to be with her.
Yeah, she's like it's like a dog chasing his tail. And ain't gonna
story
catch
of
it.
my life. If you're not into me, that's the quickest way for me to be into
you. Yeah, because you want no more, right? Like, she need to just forget all of that, enjoy her life, do what's best for her, find her happiness, have threesomes, and just wild out, you know?
Yeah, sure.
I think that's what she's into.
That's what she's into.
She is.
I would say to like cut him off cold turkey. I think like the sex can be great, but that's not. It's like sex will be great with other people besides him, but in order to get over somebody, you can get under somebody else, but you just need to like
that ain't gonna
not hook up with him because
the worst thing
you're gonna go back to it.
Is start crying when you having sex with somebody else.
Has anyone cried when you've had sex with someone?
Nah.
Have you cried?
Nah, because if they in that type of situation, they ain't gonna do it. Nah, I ain't gonna cry. But if I see you emotionally like hurt and you like bound to cry, I'm not about to be having sex with you. Like, I'd rather you just lay there.
Not hot?
Nah, hell no. And then I feel like I'm not really there because she wants me there. It was like I'm a rebound. Yeah. And I kind of got an ego and I ain't about to be nobody rebound.
Kind of have an ego? I had no idea.
I hide it. I suppress it.
Really, you do a really good job. I think
the
the final advice is ditch him. Start. That doesn't mean you don't have to
saying ditch him.
Be friends
Keep
with him.
fucking him. Let him be your support system, but go and live your life. And if you find somebody better for you, move on.
Well, I think it's also when you don't have any other, not that you don't have any other options.
Keep your options open. Options are good.
But when you put all your eggs in one basket and you only continually see the same person, you kind of just relate you associate like sex and enjoying all that stuff and like romance with that person. But you have to go meet other people and be like, oh, wait, wow, I can have this with other people. And
that's
realize
a
that.
Dumb saying. Not to use eggs in a basket. You supposed to put eggs in different baskets.
Honestly,
so they don't all break. So they don't all break in the one basket.
If one egg breaks, it's not like a domino effect and they all break.
If you drop the basket, they'll
all break. So like if you trip.
What farmer came up with this shit?
Dill
and Beth. Pitchfork.
We would have monopoly on it. That's a good one. Okay. Well, I hope it all works out for you. Let us know what happens. I care. Melvin might care too.
Yeah, I care for all people, including her. Yeah, I want her to be happy.
On the next call.
Hey, Meghan. I'm in desperate need of advice. I'm 21 and I've been with my boyfriend for over 8 years now, and everything was going really well until he admitted to making out with another girl in 2016, so like 2 years ago. Basically, how it all came out was that my girlfriends and I were talking about cheating and things like that, and I just immediately felt this pit in my stomach because there was a time when my boyfriend got a little too close to this girl. Like, there's photos of them on Facebook with their arms around each other, like super closely, to the point where other people saw them and were wondering, like, what the fuck is going on here? So I pretty much just came home and called my boyfriend and said, hey, so my friends and I had this conversation and made me really uncomfortable, so I need to know, have you ever cheated on me? He said he made out with this girl, the same girl in the photos, and I think it was around the same time when these photos were taken. He's had a million chances to admit this to me, but he chooses now in 2018, 2 years after it happened. And I know this girl, and I've always been really nice to her. Little did I know that they did this. The next day when we were talking again, my boyfriend and I, he said that it was actually twice that they made out. It's been a little over 2 weeks now, and I really want to make this work. He's been putting in the effort and wrote me a love/apology letter and vowed to never talk to that girl again, and untagged himself from the photos and deleted her off of all his social medias, which is really great, and I appreciate that, but I just cannot stop feeling angry and heartbroken and sad, and I can't trust him. And overall, I just don't feel as secure in my relationship anymore. Like 2 years before all that happened in 2014, I was anorexic and he was by my side throughout the whole thing, throughout my entire recovery. And then he goes and does something like this. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty awful. And another problem I'm having is that at first, of course, I refused to have sex with him. And he was like really bummed out about it. Like, oh my God, this is going to be so much harder than I thought. And then when we did have sex finally, he's like, oh my God, we're going to be fine. We're going to make this work and we're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. And that was a big red flag to me because I just feel like he just wants to have sex with me, and he vowed that that's not the case, and he said that he wants me for the rest of his life, and just like I said, I just can't trust him. So basically I need advice on how I can learn to trust him again and how we can make this work, and basically just how our relationship can just move past all of this.
At 13 you shouldn't, like, okay, I know people not gonna really listen to this, but I didn't have my first girlfriend until I was like 24.
You want to also say how short you are?
The thing, but it doesn't make it. I wasn't short at 18 through 24.
No, that's what I mean.
It's short people in relationships. Okay. What are you? Your heightest?
No, you used to say that you were so tiny.
I was tiny. That don't mean I can't be in a relationship.
That's what you said.
The point I'm making is, at 13, you're not mature enough or responsible enough to be responsible for somebody else's feelings or to be in a relationship or commit. You can't sign a contract at 13. You shouldn't be able to commit to a relationship. But kids don't do this because they want to be grown, and then they end up in a situation like Shorty in right now. You're not going to be able to, like, y'all going to grow apart. Y'all don't know who y'all are at 13. So at 8 years later, y'all probably aren't the same people that you were in the beginning, and you just shouldn't be in a relationship at that young. You should be living your life. You should be like playing kickball or something. You're 13. Anyway, moving away from that. 8 years, he's definitely cheated. I'm pretty sure y'all lost your virginity to each other at 13. I hope so. And I'm pretty sure at 21, 22, however old you are, he might be the only guy she's with, because girls chase this fairy tale story life that they see on Disney, but I'm pretty sure she's not the only person that he's been with.
Yeah.
And like, you can't expect that to be the case, and it's sad, but it's just human nature. I'm not telling you what's expected. I'm telling you like what's real. And I'm pretty sure he did more than kiss that girl. If he admitted to kissing twice, he did more than that.
And also, if he was so quick to delete everything and apologize, I think it's because he knows he got away with like something a little more.
Right. And then she was like, he was there for me through my anorexia recovery, and now he goes and does this. She said it like he did something bad and then did something else bad. Like, that doesn't take away from him being a good guy and being there for you. Like, if anything, that's a positive to the situation. And then he went and wrote her a love letter and all that stuff. He obviously want to be with her. And her holding back sex isn't going to help the situation.
No, it never
helps. Make him want to go have sex with somebody else. Like,
but also it's like, that's a thing that like I'll struggle with if like Mott's and I get in a fight. I'm like, we're not going to have sex, which will last for like 30 minutes. But that doesn't do, I know it's really fucked up. But like, it doesn't, especially as a girl too, like if you feel like betrayed or upset about something, like that's a way that you can feel close to your partner, and like that's something, like taking that away also, I don't think he wants just sex from you at all, because he's been dating you for 8 years. I think if you really want to be with him and he really wants to be with you, you guys just have to like work through this, and like you have to forgive him. If you can't forgive him, then you can't forgive him, and you can't move past this and be together. Like, that's just how simple it is. If you can't forgive someone for something, like that's not a relationship. And even if you decide that you want to, I don't think you need to forgive him immediately, but I think if you guys, I don't know, I think having an open dialogue about where you guys want to be, and like, I think just that long of being in a relationship, it sounds really, really romantic, but just like you're saying, like it's such like formidable years of your life growing up that you really aren't going to be the same people that you were. And if you guys are really serious about being together, if one of you or both of you has kind of had interest in other people or like being with other people, I think that's something, like if you don't explore that now, that feeling is not going to go away. Like, you're always going to wonder like, oh wow, I really have been a part of this my entire like teen and young adult years. I'm like really curious. That curiosity isn't going to die down no matter how much you love somebody. It's human nature to be like, well, what else is out here? No matter how much you love somebody. And so I think you guys should have like an open conversation with that. And like, that would totally suck if he's like, I really care about you, but I want to be with other people, and maybe we'll come back together. But I think whether you have the conversation or not, if those feelings are there, like it's gonna happen. And I think it's natural.
I think they should take a break.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's smart if you take a break because you're really upset about it too. And you don't have to forgive him for this. And you haven't, not that you said this, but like I have a couple friends who like have dated guys for like a long period of time. And then when something goes wrong, they're like, I wasted all this time. You're 21, like 8 years of a relationship. That's not, every marriage wasn't built in 8 years. I have friends who just celebrated their 2 years of knowing each other, and they've been married for a year of that. Like when you kind of, we were saying this before on the other call, it's about you personally and your kind of age and your maturity and where you're at. So if you take a break, you might realize too, wow, I want to kind of meet other people, or you guys might come back together from that. But I think assuming that both of you are only going to like have slept with each other for your entire lives, it's just a lot.
And it's not just about sex either. Like, she sounds stressed out. She need to like find her own personal happiness. That guy can't be her world. She need to have her own world, find her maximum happiness there. He do the same in his world, and then they coexist together. Like, it shouldn't be she needs him to be happy, vice versa. She need to like focus on herself because she sound kind of stressed out and just, you know what I mean, worn, and take a break away from it and find out what works for her.
Yeah, they've never been themselves as an adult.
No.
It's always been the two of them. So.
Yeah, they caught up in that.
And that identity, like you just associate who you are with somebody else. But yeah, you need some life experience, I would say, which sounds bitchy, but I think that's the best thing because I don't think you have to forgive him, but I think you gotta figure out what you want, and it can't just be him because until he's understand what you want without him being around, you know? Be single, be 21, fuck around safely with protection. On to the next one.
Hello, I am 19 years old, and my boyfriend and I have been together for almost a year. And recently I have been in a very deep depression. So recently when my boyfriend asked me for nudes, I said no, and then he proceeded to text other girls asking them for pictures and said that I couldn't be mad about it because I said no. Should I be upset with him about it, or should I just be understanding because like I did say no? So I don't know.
I mean, nah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't feel, coming from a guy's perspective, you know, if I'm asking you for nudes, I personally don't get the nude thing. Like, what am I going to do with the picture? Like, just look at it. I'm about to be a weirdo and beat off to it. Like, we have the World Wide Web. It's like free porn everywhere if that's the case. So with that being said, even if you did say no, which was an intelligent decision, don't send nudes because it leaks out and it's just going to be bad for you. Nothing good can come from it. Tell his ass no. He'll see you when he see you. And if you say no, that don't mean go ask other girls for nudes, because you just don't randomly hit up a girl and say, hey, you got nudes? You got to already have some type of pre-existing relationship and conversations that's going to bait into, hey, you want some nudes? So that means he already talking to other girls. And if he really want nudes that bad, go to Pornhub. Like, do your thing. You know what I mean? There's the strangers there. They do more than take pictures. Like,
yeah,
go at it. Nah, you shouldn't feel bad. He's stupid. I'm sorry, whoever this dude is, but yeah, you went about it dumb too. How you gonna tell her it's her fault that you asking for nudes because she didn't send you nudes? Like, it's horrible.
I'm very excited for your podcast, and this is your responses to things.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I think Melvin said everything right. Yeah, you have every right to be mad. Break up with this loser. He's a total asshole. And yeah, I also have never really heard that take on nudes before about like, why do I need them? Which I really like. But yeah, no, fuck him. No, he's an idiot. And yeah, you're right. He probably has pre-existing relationships with the other girls unless he's
just one of those
also,
weirdos.
I wonder how she
like,
found
hey,
out too. How did she find out that he asked other girls?
For nudes. She probably found it in his, I don't know.
Right?
He put it on Facebook. Facebook
status. Currently looking for nudes. Oh my gosh. Looking for nudes. Yeah. Ditch his ass. He's
nudes
an asshole.
Stupid.
Nudes are stupid?
Yeah.
So have you ever sent a nude?
No. It's too high risk. If a girl, I've been in situations where like I'm bored and the girl keep like, she's trying to send me stuff. No, I don't take no pictures of my dick. It's too much work going to. I gotta find the angles and the lighting and make sure.
You have to like throw a cell phone next to it so there's like a point of reference size.
You gotta put a remote.
Yep.
And maybe it's because I'm a heterosexual man, but dicks aren't attractive. I don't want to just take pictures of my dick. I don't see a girl looking at it like, ooh,
what a nice
beautiful dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I've Googled dicks, which is hella awkward, but Google dicks, and then you just find one and send it to the girl. She don't know the difference. And if it gets to a situation, until she see it, but it's too late. When she see it in person, she like, oh.
And also she can compare and contrast. She's like, hold on, let me pull this up.
Right. There's a freckle there.
Yeah.
You that close to it, don't worry about the picture.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, no girl should send nudes. Dudes hate me for that. Nah, y'all shouldn't send nudes, man. It's setting yourself up for disappointment. Because I'm telling you for sure, if you're not your boyfriend, he's definitely showing his friends.
I've seen so many nudes of girls. Like that's what like all of my guy friends. If I've seen almost every girl they've ever hooked up with and other random ones naked. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. Like I've been texted ones of like my guy friends like, oh my God, look, this girl sent me nudes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't send them. It's going to bite you in your ass. You never know where you're going to be in 5 years. You might be like the president or some shit. You never know.
Ew, Donald Trump has nudes.
Oh my God.
P-tape.
I want to see it, but I don't want to see it.
But you know what's crazy? Like right now we're in a generation of millennial Z generation or whatever, where it's like everything is, people take pictures of everything. Mm-hmm. So in 20, 30 years, where these people are like people that rule the world, they still have a history that's like been documented by photographs. Like they didn't have cell phone pictures when Donald Trump was younger, but I'm pretty sure he would have been sending out dick pics. And it would have been out on the internet right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Be careful.
Tiny little ones. The world's tiniest dick pic. Okay, guys, we are going to take
a break song.
What?
It's break time.
That was like very Blue's Clues.
It was.
Yeah.
I grew up on Blue's Clues.
Did you? Steve.
Yeah. You know they auditioning for a new one? Yeah. I got two friends who they were like, I don't want to be new Blue's Clues guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out for that. Except I would. I'm desperate.
I'd be the worst Blue's Clues guy.
You would.
Cursing and shit.
What's up, Blue?
Kids. What's up, Blue?
Okay. We're going on a break. We'll be back. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by Us. Go Us, US, not USA, because this podcast is international. I am going to be giving some Apple Podcast, iTunes love for you guys who've been leaving really great and wonderfully nice comments. It really does make me super happy, when I don't book an audition and I can just look and be like, wow, these people like the podcast. But it's also great to get your guys' feedback on what you like about it. And I love when you guys comment what guests you want to see in it too. And so we're going to read some wonderful 5-star reviews. One of the first ones is from one of my absolute favorite podcasts. I love this that's the title, by CKW822. Take whatever I'm saying with a grain of salt because I got a concussion and I might just be like spewing random names and numbers. I love this podcast. Meghan is so funny and all of her advice comes from such a kind-hearted place. She also brings in great guests. I listen to every episode and I'll never miss one. Thank you so much. Makes me very happy because I do come from a kind-hearted place. Despite the times where I'm being kind of bitchy, I do really come from it because like I want you guys to succeed in life. Next one is Crying in the Club Right Now by KDH_XOXO. I've been watching Meghan's videos since legit 2014, and she's always been my fave. Real recognizes real. Oh, love her already. But until this podcast, I hadn't realized how seriously funny she is. During her episode with Lily, I no joke cried of laughter, and I was just sitting on the floor building furniture laughing out loud. Peed a little as well. Thanks, Meghan. Oh, I love that one. We should be friends because real recognizes real. That also sounds like a Real Housewives, like you're holding the apple and that's your catchphrase for the season. Next one is I hate reviewing, but they also give 5 stars. And it says, and their username is Madam oh my God, fuck, Aisen's not here to help me. Madam Degrassi. Yeah. I am the worst friend in the entire world that I don't even know the name of the show my friend's on. I hate leaving reviews and I'm not even that into commenting, but I gotta say this is the funniest podcast I've ever heard. And I love you so much. Thank you, because I'm definitely with you on that. And I think I said that last time, which is even if you hate reviewing, it really does bring a smile to my face and really help us out and show your support for the podcast. If you guys have been enjoying listening to it, vocalize it. Tell your friends about it. Tell them to subscribe and rate it. So thank you guys so much. And we always will have, if you are listening to this on YouTube, you guys can always go and subscribe on the Apple Podcast app for iPhone users and people who have iTunes and podcast app on your computer. So you can constantly be updated there. And thank you guys so much. And I would love if you left. This concussion. I would love you guys left. Fuck, shit, guys. I'm sorry. I would love if you guys left other reviews. Guys, brain damage. Well, thank you guys so much for all of these. And I'm going to keep scrolling through them and ignore the mean ones. Don't be like the mean ones because nobody likes them. And yeah, I would love if you guys left more comments. I'm going to stop talking now. Okay, goodbye. We're back, guys, and we've got more calls. And we heard some great nude stories while we weren't recording. Ew, I just looked at.
Hi, Megan. I'm just calling in. This is so weird because I never thought I would have to call in to ask for advice. But anyway, here it goes. So I have a friend who recently told me she was sleeping with someone who is quite significantly older than her, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the worst part of it is that that person is her boss. And I think that I felt really uncomfortable when she told me this, and I didn't know how to take it because I feel like because he is older and he's her boss and she's now pretty much the only employee he has working for him, I feel like he's probably using her and she's going to get screwed over by this. And to top it all off, she's also married as well. And I do quite like her husband, and as she told me the reason why she started doing this is because things weren't going so great. And I asked her if she talked about it, and she said no, she feels like she can't say anything. And I mean, I don't know what it's like to be married. I am in a committed relationship myself, so I would hope that if my partner thought things weren't going so well, he'd talk to me before doing that. But yeah, I just don't know what to do. Do I tell her that I feel uncomfortable with the situation? Do I tell her what I think about what's going on? Like, I don't think it's my place to tell her husband what's going on, but yeah, I just feel like I'm stuck on a rock and a hard place.
No, Patrick, you're not stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's none of your business. Mind your business. Be your friend's friend, and that's it. Stay out of it because it's going to go bad in your favor. You hop in the middle of somebody's relationship, then they get back together. But now it's like tension between you and that person. So then it's tension between you and your friend, and then y'all gonna eventually fade away because you was looking out for that person's best interest, but it was none of your business.
Yeah.
Stay out of it.
I think you have to let people make their own choices, and your friend's clearly making her own choices. I think you can say that if she wants to talk to you about it, you can be like, honestly, I don't you do you. I don't really want to hear about it. Right. You can say that, but I wouldn't have a sit down and tell her oh, I feel very uncomfortable with it. I think the next time she brings it up to you, you can just casually say and be like, hey, I'm whatever you want to do, however you want to live your life. I do feel a little weird hearing about it. And you can say that and put your foot down there and just say that you don't want to hear about it. But also at the same time, she might want, if you don't want to hear about it, she's going to feel judged, and then you might be pushing her away there too.
She's definitely going to be judgmental because I could tell the way that she asked the question because she was already judging it. She was judging the situation with the guy aside from her friend being married. So she was like, he's older and she works for him and she's his only employee. Yeah. None of that stuff matters. She's married. She shouldn't even be with him. Okay, what if she was dating somebody who's her age and who wasn't cheating. Her boss, and you know what I mean? Is wrong. So it's like she's already judgmental. So I can imagine how she would be when she's talking to her. Not at your fault because it's not you doing it. But
yeah, and it's just a shitty situation.
Right. Yeah. If you try to talk to her about it, you're going to be judgmental. She's going to get defensive. And it's just not going to be it's not going to be good.
Yeah. I would just downplay it when it comes up again. I think we don't know if she said that to you once and you guys haven't really talked about it, and maybe it's something that you feel really guilty about and you feel kind of like gross with. But I also think like as I get older, like things that I've judged other people on for and like for doing, as I've gotten older, I've kind of been like, not that I understand and like there's a way to justify any of it, but I think getting involved in other people's business, always ends badly. But then more than that, I think like I think karma is very real in that sense, that you get involved with somebody else, you get very judgy with somebody else is doing, and you end up in a situation when you're like, fuck, I would be judging myself for this kind of stuff. And I don't think, I think you can be a great friend to her and still be like awesome and sick and you guys can hang out. And then, if she brings it up, you can kind of just like smile and nod or just be like, I mean, I'll be honest, like I don't really care hearing about it. Like I love you and all that stuff. But if it's really, really hard for you to hear it and you feel terrible, then you have to decide, like, do you want to stop being friends with your friend because of this? Because people are going to make bad decisions, and anybody who doesn't condone their bad decisions are like dead to them. Like I think that when like I dated some terrible guys, my friends were like, your boyfriend's terrible. I'm like, no, you're terrible. And then years later I was like, he was a really shitty boyfriend. But also, like you want to make those own choice. You want to make those choices. Sometimes we also make choices that we know are stupid and we know are bad, and we've already gone through all the consequences and like the things in our mind, and we're still actively choosing to do something super fucking stupid. And so I don't need somebody else to tell me what I'm doing is stupid because I already know and I'm already okay with it. Yeah.
I have a friend that she is dating her boss as well. He's married and has a newborn baby.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And according to her, they're in love. And I'm not going to be judgmental about it. They can live their life.
Mm-hmm.
I think the truth will eventually come out, but it's none of my business.
Yeah.
And he's not going to leave his family.
Yeah.
No.
I've told her that, but and that's it. And that's all I can say. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because also, I think even if you were able to convince your friend that this is a bad idea and that she needs to end it with him, she's going to associate her ending it with this guy with you. And that maybe if she hadn't done that, he would have left his wife, they would have been together, and that's your fault. So like you're the one doing that. So I think sometimes too, when you make bad decisions, and
she's the one that married though. She's the one married.
But I mean like doing anything like that, like she thinking that something's going to be okay and fine. I think when people make bad decisions, they've already kind of gone through, they've been able to justify it in their own heads, and anything that you can say to them, they've already been able to justify all of that stuff. And so if you want to keep her as a friend, it's just not worth it to say anything.
You shouldn't sleep with your boss.
It's also so awkward. Like, do you get work done, or do you just like have sex?
Yeah, that's why you don't sleep with your employees. You employ people to get work done.
Is this why you employ like your family so you don't have sex with them?
Employing your family not good either, because they really don't get shit done. No, you got to employ people you don't like. In my opinion, that's how you get shit done.
You don't like them, but
like we have no personal relationship.
So if you and Mel work together, it's because you don't like Mel.
No, I have to like her because this is a different type of situation. But if it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to be able to tell if you have an assistant. You want to be able to tell your assistant.
If we got a relationship and she's good at her job, and then it's cool, we could be cool.
Yeah.
But if she's bad, I'm not going to hang out with you because I'm going to be thinking like, yo, it's some shit you ain't get done today. You should be at the office or practicing or something for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you good, then you can have a relationship. Not a sexual relationship, but relationship.
Yeah. I think it's just, bad judgment on his part, especially.
Yeah, it's a conflict of interest.
And there's like something like, there's very much something to be said about like the attractiveness of like superiority and like someone who works above you. And it's like, I mean, we see that now. It's like it's just like a very powerful situation that makes like, especially women working underneath, feel really special and really unique. And then you also have this like weird sense of obligation to that person.
She's the only employee though. Like, what's the job?
Right. And what are y'all doing all day?
Yeah.
That's what I wonder. Like, are you a personal assistant? Are you like really like being personal with your assisting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This world is a circus.
So bleak. Well, yeah, stay out of your friend's business. It'll come to a head wherever, and you kind of want to stay out of the line of fire. So then you guys will still be friends after it. On to the next call.
Hi, Meghan. I'm 18, and I recently just finished my first year of college. And with that first year came a lot of other firsts, like losing my virginity. The guy that I lost it to is great. He's really attentive in bed. He's super sweet, and I have an amazing time with him. And since then, I've slept with him a lot. Great part of this, though, is finally being able to have like true sex conversations with my friends and being able to actually relate to what they're saying. And this is so fun for me, like being able to talk to my friends and open up about this stuff and get giddy about sex, you know what I mean? And it was great until I happened to mention to them that the guy I'm sleeping with is uncircumcised. They instantly all reacted like I said he had the plague or something and acted so grossed out. They said, oh, I can never sleep with a guy that's uncircumcised or suck his dick or whatever. And this really upset me. It made me feel ostracized and like I had done something dirty. And even though I'm completely fine with him being uncut, I mean, he's very hygienic. He has a dick and always makes sure I'm satisfied. Like, I don't have any problem with a little bit of extra skin, but it's anytime I want to talk to any of my sexual exploits now, I feel like I should be ashamed of it. So I was wondering if you had any tips on how I should open up to my friends about how they reacted, made me upset, but doing so without it being awkward or sounding like I'm being defensive. Also, if you've ever slept with an uncircumcised guy yourself, I was wondering if you had any tips on how to navigate that a little differently.
Yo, it's so funny the way she fluctuates. She's like, yeah, because we were really talking and we were hanging out. We lost our virginity. He was really attentive in bed. And so I was fucking around with him a lot. And then, you know, we were just talking. We were hanging out. And I was talking with my friends. And I get real giddy when it's talking about sex.
She's getting good. She's getting good. It's good.
Fucked around. Like, what does that mean? It sounds like she's ready to chop his head off. Fucked around a lot.
She just enjoyed it.
She waited a really long time, and now she's really enjoying it.
Yeah, and he's attentive. That means he's good.
He's good. He's going down.
Really long time.
How long did you wait? Tuesday. Tuesday. She had sex on Tuesday.
Nah, I didn't lose my virginity till after high school.
I know.
How you know?
Because you told me.
You. Oh. Yeah, because I was being a kid when I was a kid. Back to the subject at hand. I mean, it's none of their business, I guess. Like, you don't have to open up. They probably clown you, but whatever. Find something to clown them about. A lot of them probably not getting dick or, you know what I mean? Well, you happy. I mean, I'm circumcised, so I don't know that side of the world. And you know,
have you ever seen an uncircumcised penis?
Nah, I think I've seen it on a porn before.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm not concentrating on the dick to really know the specifics of the whole situation. I heard it's not hygienic, but I mean, that's natural, right? You're not naturally cut. And I heard the circumcision was like some like religious Jewish ritual that just became like the norm. I'm not Jewish, but I'm circumcised. I don't fucking know. Yeah. I didn't make the decision.
Most guys in the world aren't circumcised.
I mean, I've been with both cut and uncut guys, and stop smiling. I'm not. I can see you. Watch the YouTube video to see Melvin smiling. And what I would say is like, I mean, honestly, so the amount of times, especially in like your early like sexual endeavors, the amount of times you are seeing the guy that you're sleeping with dick not hard is like,
if it's uncircumcised, don't it look like he got a turtleneck on, like with a little head?
It looks like a pig in the blanket.
Yeah, but honestly, only really when a guy's not hard. Mm-hmm. And how often are you like seeing like just a flaccid penis? Like if you are a lot and you're hooking up, like that's another issue.
But great.
But like,
good for you.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's kind of like. It's like 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Like it's not. I mean, half the time,
what?
Like
she's seeing it hard 6 out of the 10 times.
It's just like I'm saying. It's guys. You're confusing.
6 one way, a half a dozen the other. What? That's confusing.
Half and half.
Like it's saying so. It's like either. No matter what, it's just kind of like guys, it's not like you would have only ever been, unless you're Jewish, like my Jewish friends have like never seen an uncut dick, but like most of my friends, it's like 50-50 you've slept with guys who are cut.
Just don't. Is it like you in the hospital and it's like, would you like to get the circumcision with that birth?
Yeah.
It's like, how much more is it? Oh, it's an extra 12. Nah, he good.
I mean, some people, because you do lose sensation when you're circumcised.
Yeah.
What?
You don't know this, but yeah.
What?
And as a kid, you don't have, I mean, you're a baby. You don't have a choice. But
so sex could feel different if I wasn't circumcised?
Yes.
I don't think I could handle more. I'm cool. Like, you ever seen that video where the guy having sex? He's like, That's uncircumcised?
You? That's you?
No,
if you were uncircumcised.
I'm asking, maybe is that how it is when you're uncircumcised?
I should like think about that and be like, so the people I've slept with been more enjoying it more if they were circumcised or not.
I think it depends on the doctor, because I feel like when you got like bad.
It's not a bad or a good thing. It's just that you either have it or you don't. Some people get circumcised, some people don't.
The only way to truly test that is to get a grown adult man who's uncircumcised, circumcise him, and then let him have sex afterwards and let him tell you if it's a difference.
You can't do adult circumcision.
Yeah, you can.
You can?
He got it done when he was a teenager.
Yeah, or if you like,
I thought it was like tonsils once you got to a certain point.
If you convert to Judaism after,
you can't.
My doctor just told me I should get my tonsils out.
You can't get your tonsils out unless you have really tiny, tiny veins there.
Yeah, you can.
You're not supposed to, because the veins get too big and they're harder to clot up.
Can.
Technically, you can.
Yeah.
Meghan don't know what she's talking about.
But anyway, let's say you're later in life and you're like, I'm going to be Jewish. You're gonna need to get circumcised. So
you can do that
can
adult-wise.
Yeah.
I'm Jewish ready.
You're ready and primed to be Jewish.
To convert.
I think also like your friends, that to me just shows like sexual inexperience, is your friends making fun of that.
It's immature.
It's so immature and it's mean.
It's funny though.
Do you know what I mean? Like a bunch of girls sitting around talking about like, ew, your boyfriend's dick. That sounds like your friends have all been lying to you and they've been virgins this whole time. And also they've just probably only ever sex with one guy. There's nothing wrong with being
a virgin, all right? Don't let anybody
there's
talk
not.
down on
No, there's not.
But don't judge other people's penises.
Exactly. Especially if you've been like, you finally feel like you can talk about sex with your friends and now you can talk about it and now they're like, oh, we're just going to judge your boyfriend's penis.
She's probably all excited. Oh my God,
and
girl,
she's
we were fucking around.
And she's enjoying it. So if it's working for you, what's the problem? It's not. It's not going inside them. So why do they care?
Exactly. And it's no different for a girl. Like you're not like, oh, I can totally tell the guy that I'm fucking is cut. Like you can't tell. Again, you can only really notice if a guy's not hard.
Yeah.
That's
it's
no, that's not true.
That is true.
No, I've seen it in a porn.
Okay, but I've had sex with it.
You pull the head up over the head. It's like the skin come over the head. Like a protective sheath.
No.
Not when it's hard.
Not when it's hard.
It goes back already.
Oh, so where the extra skin go?
It just pulls back.
So it
it's
moves.
Like it grows and it pulls back.
So the skin can move up and down like a t-shirt on the arm.
Yes.
Revelations.
Interesting. I don't know how that could be better. Oh,
you can protect your dick in war.
No, what?
Yeah,
it's like when they. Oh, never mind.
Go ahead.
No, so it's like if they masturbate, right? See, a regular guy, you probably need some lubrication because it's okay.
Yep.
Look at my arm. You know, if I just do this, my skin not moving.
Yeah.
So you got to put the lotion on. So
Yep.
But if you're uncircumcised, it's like. The skin move with your hand.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. But we're not judging it.
We're not judging. That's like every woman's vagina is differently too. Yeah. What if you have a fat, flabby vagina? And
just don't
are they gonna judge you for that?
Don't respond to that.
Yeah.
What? No, it may feel bad. It's like
we talked about.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We had somebody call because some guy told her that she had a fat vagina.
It's like cushion.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Warmer.
More surface area.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's literally nothing. There's
nothing.
There's no difference. And the hygienic thing, I think, is also like, it's really only applies to little boys. Like little boys of being like, hey, clean yourself better. But it's also like, as a little girl, do you ever remember like sitting at the beach with like just like sitting with your legs spread and then the sand like getting in your vagina and being like, oh wow, now I have to clean my vagina. Yeah, it's really, I saw a girl do like a little kid doing it at the beach the other day. I was like, oh sweetie, you're getting a rude awakening when you sit in the car and you stand up and there's a pile of sand. Yeah. But I just mean like, it's something like you're going to have to learn how to clean your body anyway. And I think like the hygiene thing really only applies to little boys who are smelly anyways, but it's like, oh, you have to clean yourself or whatever.
Yeah. His dick's probably cleaner than
completely because he's had to
paying more attention to it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And there's really no difference as a girl who's.
If you circumcise, your dick airs out itself.
What?
See, exactly my point.
I'm joking. I set that point up for her as an assist.
I don't get it.
Never mind, Meghan.
No, explain it to me.
No, because me saying I'm not conscious of cleaning it because I said it aired out itself.
Oh, okay.
And it was
your dick is dirty.
It contributed to her point of a guy being more attentive if he's not circumcised.
Okay, I got it now. Thank you so much for explaining it.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I want all your friends to look at everybody's at their own vaginas and be like,
yeah, like who's this better?
Yeah.
And also, the other thing is too
Compare
is like
vagina time.
It's ever get a hand mirror? Like the thing that
like hand mirror,
a small mirror. They teach you that when you're like in middle school. Like go look at your vagina, stand over and look at your vagina, and then you'll be like, okay, definitely straight. But I was also gonna say though, like some of the guys that I slept with, it took me a little while to even be like, oh, he's cut, he's not cut. Like it's not even something that you would know immediately. So the fact that like some of these girls, if it's guys they've slept with, these guys could also be uncut and they wouldn't know.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Yeah, grow the fuck up and then like enjoy the sex, do what you're doing. There's like literally, I mean, I think my friends and I maybe had like one, my Jewish friends, the only people who've ever asked me, like, have you ever slept with a guy who's like uncut? And I was like, yeah. They're like, cool. And that's it. But like most of my friends, I don't sit around and be like, hey, is your boyfriend cut? Like, I have no idea if my friends' boyfriends are like, have foreskin or literally, I don't know. I don't want to know either.
That's
Why the fuck would you want to know? No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't talk about that.
Hey, what's your girl coochie look like?
Right,
what?
exactly.
Hey, how's your girlfriend's labia?
I don't even like looking at the labias I'm with.
What?
I guess that go back to me not wanting nudes. Like it's just
you just don't want to see a vagina.
Area not really attractive. I like what it does and feels like. Well, I want to just stare at it and look at that vagina. Like, no, it's not my thing.
So definitely not a peeping Tom.
Nah.
No, definitely doesn't want to go see George O'Keeffe's.
Who is that?
Doesn't matter. It's my turn for a joke.
I told you weren't funny. No, I'm
playing. You.
She was just on a fine art level.
Yeah, and fine art humor.
You know, humor comes from being able to relate.
I'm relatable. Okay, guys. So that was our last question, but now we're on to Producer's Corner, where we either have a callback or we've got someone kind of giving their input on a previous call from a different episode. So what do we have?
We've got a response to a call. Okay. This is from episode 28 with Jonah Green. This is the woman that had the monster-in-law. Remember?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and so that one was that her and her husband had been together for 3 years. They'd been married for 1 year. The mother-in-law was going around spreading rumors that were completely untrue and giving the daughter-in-law's phone number out just to random people, and she got like 100 messages and
like bullying her.
Yeah. And so she's been like harassed and she was angry and she was just trying to figure out how to get over it. And so this is a caller that was calling a response to that.
Great.
It really broke my heart hearing her call and talk about like what she's been going through. And I think you guys gave her some really good advice. And I personally, I'm not married, so I haven't experienced this, but my mom actually went through a similar thing. So my parents have been married for 24 years, and my dad's parents were not okay with my dad marrying my mom for a couple different reasons. They were a different religion. She was from the cities, from the country. My mom didn't want to kind of abide by their rules. And pretty much what happened was it started, my dad's family kind of started, shaming her and trying to intimidate her to not like ending up with my dad. But the one big thing I wanted to touch on is like, the caller, she didn't mention anything about how her husband felt about it and how if they've had a conversation about it. But like one major thing is my dad told his parents pretty much to like fuck off. You know, he told them, you know, that he's going to be with my mom regardless, and that he pretty much chose her, and that like made a big impact on their relationship because, you know, he ended up he chose her, and so this, you know, kind of made his parents stop. They didn't really bother her. My mom doesn't really have a relationship with my dad's parents. Me and my sister don't have really a relationship with my dad's parents. Like my dad calls them for like holidays and their birthdays, but we're not that involved. But you know, the thing about in-laws is it's a privilege for them to be a part of your relationship. It's not a right. And so you're allowed to choose to not have a relationship with them. So I was going to tell her, you know, it's important for her to have this conversation with her husband and see where he's at, and that in the end, he needs to defend her and he needs to choose her. He's allowed to have a relation with his parents, but it doesn't mean she has to. And if it's causing her a lot of stress, then like, you know, if that means that he can't stand up to his parents, then she needs someone else. My aunt went through the same thing, except in this case, the opposite thing happened. Her husband chose his mom, and they're still married, but they just have a bad marriage, and my cousins don't like their dad or their grandma.
That's it.
That was it.
Well, she ran out. It was 3 minutes long, so she ran out of time.
Jeez.
This is funny because, I mean, great response. So happy to hear about it. My friends and I actually had a conversation about this weekend because just a similar thing had happened, different but similar thing had happened to one of my friends of like having an issue with their significant other's family. And my friends and I were talking about it. We were like, it just doesn't make sense because like moms especially, or like who feel threatened, it's like these relationships are not mutually exclusive. Like having a girlfriend or having like a wife and a mom, like mom is never going to be your wife. Like mom is never going to, they're completely different roles in your life. And like,
unless you're Oedipus.
But I mean, like they fulfill such different things. So the idea of like that power struggle to me is so odd because it's like, you're the only mom that your son will ever have, but you cannot be your son's wife. You cannot do, and like, so that is like, I find it so just odd how much like that hatred and stuff can brew when, or like that idea of like nobody is good enough, but it's like, but you can't fulfill that. So either you want your kid to be single forever, and never like be in love because like you should not love your kid like a wife can love your kid.
I think like the duties are similar though. Like I'm looking at it from a mom's perspective, right? Like imagine a mom with like a 10-year-old kid. Like her duty is to make sure her son is safe, make sure he's okay, make sure he's fed, make sure he's clothed, to protect him.
I am not going to make sure Mops is clothed.
But I'm saying, but when you're married, it's like, you know, a wife kind of has a lot of those duties. She's like the mom, the woman of the house. I mean, okay, sex is included. And it's different. But from a mom's perspective, if she did everything to look out for the best interests of her son, and now it's a woman who's taking part of that task, and you don't feel like she's suitable or best for it, you're going to look at her in animosity like, no, she's not good. She doesn't cook for you. She doesn't clean, because the mom still wants to look out for the best interests of the son.
Well, I think that I can see that happening. And I think it's because there is like a dated difference of like moms who did really baby and take care of their kids like that. And then this very...
That's dated?
Oh, no, I'm saying like, and then now for there being like, thank God this wave of like strong women who are like, you can cook for yourself. We can be like co-captains in life. But like, that's what I'm saying. And like, and then a mom can be upset because it's like, oh, you don't cook and clean for my son. He does those, you guys are partners in this. And this isn't like the woman's chores and the man's chores. Cause that's something for me. Like I am never going, like, it's not my job to get dinner on the table. Like if I don't feel like cooking and Mots doesn't feel like cooking, we'll go out to eat. But like, it's not my job to do that. It's not my job to do laundry. It's not any of that. And I think because I could see that also because the people who are like our parents' age now, that was the traditional role of like the female in the house. That if your like daughter-in-law is not doing that traditional like female housewife kind of role, that you're going to be disappointed by her. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she should be.
Don't fucking go there.
I mean, what do you like?
Don't.
Okay, no, like, all right.
We were doing so good,
depends.
Melvin.
No, I ain't gonna be fake. Look, so it depends on the woman, right? Because like my ex-girlfriend, she enjoyed doing all of that stuff, and like me, she'll ask me to cook, and I'm like, I could just, we could just go out to eat, like, and sometimes she's like, no, it just means something different if you cook.
It does,
and I understand that, and me being a man too, like me personally, I would enjoy if like my woman cooked for me or, did small things like that. And I understand like this co-captain thing that people really running for, but I feel like that's biased too. We don't really go co-captain all the way through. Like,
no, I think it's like can be 60-40 and like the different days. Like if Mats is working longer at work, I'll do more stuff, but the same thing, vice versa.
But it's like, I don't know.
But it's about what you want in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it boiled down to.
I also know a lot of women who are who want to get married young and have babies young, and they just want to be moms. But there's nothing wrong with that. Like being a mom is a full-time job, and if that's what you want,
you're right.
But I think like this has to be the same thing for the man. Like and I also have guys I know that don't want to be the breadwinner. They don't want to have to cover like financially their entire family, and they want to be with a girl who also is financially independent. And so that they can do that together because he doesn't want the responsibility of funding everything.
I feel like if first off, I'm gonna say I feel like women are. Tell me if this is offensive.
It's gonna be offensive.
Tell me. I feel like women are more naturally nurturing and enduring and more like affectionate to different things than guys are.
It depends on.
And that's a
woman.
fallacy to most guys, because I wish I was like had some of those things that women have. Like it's just I feel like it's natural with you guys being like
maternal,
you birth people. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's different instinctive things that like I'm not good at that I wish I was, that I feel like women are more like better at. But okay, I just wanted to put that out there. But okay, say if it's the co-captain and both people are breadwinners, right? Everyone just goes to work, makes the money, no one's really keeping the house. At that point, you're just gonna hire other people to do it.
Well, no, because it's not like
you both just gonna go to work, wake up, get your coffee, go out the door, and then come back home when it's time. Well, you might have different type of jobs, but you're gonna hire other people to do all of the stuff.
No, I mean not necessarily. So Mats lives here with me. We both work. Me less than him now, but like we both work. We both pay rent here, and like some nights I will be home earlier and I'll cook dinner. There's other nights that he'll be home earlier. And like, I mean, those nights are few and far between that he'll do that, or he'll pick up food. Like it just has to be something where it's not expected. That's the thing. It's like, if we don't clean, if it's the house is messy, that means that night we're going to clean it, or that Saturday we're going to clean it. Like it's the same thing with like it's just planning ahead. It's like, oh, we're not gonna like dinner's going to be a crazy night on Wednesday night. So we're gonna pre-cook dinner on Sunday night that we have for that day. So it just becomes that kind of, it's not like either one of us walks through the door and expects dinner to be on the table and the house to be clean. It's like, if I didn't clean the house, I'm not going to expect that it was your job to clean the house while I was gone, and vice versa. And so like, it's the same thing. Like if I'm doing laundry, I'll do his laundry too. If he's doing laundry, he'll do my laundry too. Who's ever like, I was out of town this weekend. He went grocery shopping, but it's not like the house goes to shit if I'm not here, and vice versa. Like we're both able to, I don't know. I think it also depends on when I think it can be a dated outlook. It kind of reminds me of like the women who are taking care of the household reminds me of the idea of a woman who has lived with her parents until she marries somebody and moves in with them, and she takes that responsibility. But if you're a girl or a guy who's like lived with other roommates, you've had to do your part. And so it becomes ingrained in you that like, I'll take the trash out. Like I will do the dishes, but there's some chores that I don't like that I'd prefer Mats to do that I'll ask him to do. But because I had to be like a self-sufficient, all my own stuff kind of thing, I think that's it'd just be a weird thing to give up once you're in a relationship, of being like, oh, I would also get so bored sitting at home doing nothing. But that's me. I know girls who like, that's what they strive to be, is to like be a mom and not and have that be their job, which is like totally a full-time job. It's just, you have to be on the same page. And I think what the issue with the call is, and this is also just total speculation, is that her and her husband might be on the same page and his mom is just not on that page. And so exactly like the callback says, I think like she needs to talk to her husband and figure that out. Because then if he has those expectations, maybe he's talking to his mom about how he's like, oh, I wish she did this, or I wish she did this. And yeah, I mean, Mats and I have those conversations. Like, I'm never going to be like a stay at home. The house is like spick and span and clean and like perfect all the time. Like the kids are dressed in matching outfits. We posted an Instagram picture all together and we did a DIY. Like, I'm never going to be like that. And so I think you should be on the same page. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with the other side of it.
Yeah, like with my parents, both my parents, quote unquote, breadwinners. My mom traveled a lot for her job. My dad was at home more. He cooked more. He did like 3 girls. He did our hair. And then like my mom enjoyed mowing the grass and she would be the one that mowed the grass and things like that. So it's just how you balance your relationship.
And I like to cook. So I end up cooking dinner way, way, way more. But I hate doing dishes. And so Mats will be doing that. So I think like where it goes into more of like a traditional, like I'm more likely to have dinner on the table, that for me doesn't really feel as much of a chore as some other things that he'll do for me. But then like at the same time, like it's not, we don't have that like that, we haven't established it. Like if I don't cook dinner, he's not like, where's dinner? Like he could just as likely walk through the door. I've like roasted an entire chicken, or he could walk through the door and I'm like in sweatpants and being like, I'm going to eat popcorn for dinner. And I'll be like, okay. I think like you just have to be on the same page.
I agree.
Yeah. I also love your ex-girlfriend if you're talking about the one that I know. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Melvin, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You going to do your own podcast one day?
Yeah.
One day soon? You're going to have me on it?
Mm-hmm.
It's so convincing. I feel really, really assured that you're going to invite me on it.
See, I'm not dramatic. I'm not like, oh my God, yeah, sure you are.
No, I'd feel weird if you were like that.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Do you want to plug anything you have coming up? I don't know what you're allowed to say that you're doing.
I mean,
nothing.
Everything's out. It's early though.
It's early?
It's early.
Well, you guys can
American Vandal come on Netflix end of September.
Okay, cool.
Season 2. The movie, I don't know nothing about that, so we'll see when it comes.
And you guys can still watch Melvin and Unreal. Yeah. That's still on.
Is it on still?
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
Okay, yeah. Check out Unreal season. What season was it?
3. You were so endearing and cute on it though.
Thanks.
You were like, I got excited. Me and Aislinn watched it together. Yeah. And every time you came up, we were like, Melvin! Like you're very charming. It's very cute.
Thank you.
Even though you're not supposed to be like adorable and lovable, but like you are. Do you know what I mean?
He's
like
the best guy. Friend.
I'm not supposed to be adorable and lovable.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's not
I was
like
supposed to be like the friend.
That's what I'm saying. The typical guy, like that typical, like that character that you play, you make it so endearing and lovable that I'm like, oh.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And you guys can totally watch us on Freakish still, can they? Yeah, it's on Hulu.
I don't know.
I think it's on Hulu. Some
you
girl.
You can go look at our kiss scene that we was talking about.
Oh yeah,
the first one.
Oh, yours.
That was episode 1.
Episode 1.
What was the crazy one?
What?
This is what I was. Go at it, get frisky. What were they saying?
Oh yeah, something really gross. We're like, and also we got like really no direct. I think the only direction we got was it's like an implied sex scene, and then our only direction was just don't like have sex or do anything like that. And we were like, okay.
Oops, I slipped and fell.
Yeah, exactly. Like my dick fell inside of her. Well, that's all there is for us talking about boobs and things like that. Okay, guys. So if you enjoyed this episode, first of all, please leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app. We would love it. And share on social because you send the link to Melvin so Melvin knows to retweet it. And if you guys want to
my Twitter sucks.
You guys can call in for future episodes. The number is 310-694-0976. And again, for international callers, email meghanpodcast@gmail.com with a audio file. But yeah, so leave us. We would love to hear callbacks too. Those are some of my favorites to hear updates. So if you guys have previously called in, the girl who hooked up with her boyfriend and then his twin brothers, would just love to hear how you're doing.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Was it by mistake?
No.
Nope. All on purpose.
All on purpose. She's my hero.
Oh my God.
I love her. Want to know how you're doing, girl? She lives in Canada.
Why? That's a pointless
no
body count. Like it's the same person.
No. It was the brother and then twins. So like the twin brother, 3 of them.
Yeah. 3 total.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you want to follow Melvin, where can they see you on the internet? Okay, Melvin Gregg. Do you want me to do it?
At Melvin Gregg. That's it. Everywhere. It's just
his Instagram stories are great.
Oh, Melvin Gregg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm bad at plugging myself. I feel like if they want to find me, they'll find me. Make like a scavenger.
It's just Google you. It's a pretty easy scavenger hunt. Okay, guys. We will talk to you, or you will hear us. We're not going to talk to you. I mean, we'll talk at you, and then you'll hear it later. Next week. There's another episode next week. So
next week.
See you guys then. Just to do like sounds for all this.
I'm giving you outros.
Thank you.
You could use it as a sound bite and put it on the end of each episode.
We have songs in this.
We have music.
Oh.
He's never watched
Mix it
or
together.
listened.
Nah, I ain't watch it.
Fuck you. Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced, directed, and edited by Melisa DeMonts. Post-production sound by Chris Henry, production assistant Julie Carley, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I'll see you guys next week, and don't blame me if your life, completely fucks up before then. Oh.